Hello everyone, it's me Pavlo and it's your daily dose of audiophilia. Today we'll be talking about ibasso DX180. ibasso is a great company that creates really good audio gear. Unfortunately, for quite some long time I didn't have an opportunity to review their gear. So I decided to fix that, and today we'll be talking about their most affordable player in the lineup now. It's built with Snapdragon 665 using Android 13, has sample rate conversion bypass, so everything that you can expect for the good Android player. It's built with 4 Cirrus Logic 43131 chips, has a pretty powerful amplifier, 660 milliwatts for 32 ohms from the balanced output, and 280 for the single-ended. It supports quick charge and other fancy things, so they promise charging time about 85 minutes, and that will give you up to 15 hours of work. Actually, for the single-ended output, I've usually got from 13 to 14. For the balanced, like above 10, roughly so, and that's a pretty good figures. 1080p display and a lot of other great things. So, as usual, as you can expect from ibasso, it's a pretty top-notch device. As I've understood from their website, they planned 2 versions with 3 and 4 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of internal memory for 3 gigabytes and 128 for the 4 gigabytes. But for now, I see only 4 gigabyte RAM version available. It costs $530. And with all that, let's have a closer look. So let's unbox this piece of beauty. As you can see, package is pretty similar to previous models. A bit of foiled captions, but not much information on the box printed. And inside we have a pleasant to-touch box. On top there is a player itself. Here we probably got some papers, manuals and so on. And underneath we have just basic set of but really useful accessories. So actually it's silicone case, USB Type-C cable, and a generous set of protective films. So as you can see, everything that you will need to enjoy your player out of the box is present. And here is the player itself. As you can see, it's somewhat similar in terms of design, but at the same time it's a bit different. There are 3 different versions as far as I remember, and for example, here is a beautiful back plate from previous ibasso players, but at the same time they shifted a bit from that smooth shapes to more edgy. So as you can see, different bevels on the sides and so on. But in general, by modern standards, it's a pretty compact player. It fits nicely in hand, so pretty pocketable and so on. On the bottom we have 2 outputs, balanced and single-ended. This side is empty. On top we have microSD slot and USB Type-C. And a good feature of this player, it has a separate USB controller for the digital to analog converter, meaning really low delays in the digital to analog converter mode. And probably the most interesting part is that volume control, and it extrudes pretty noticeably from the case, but at the same time almost zero wobbling, so holds really well. Nice encoder with pleasant clicks. Really nicely machined and good looking, and definitely reminds some mechanical watch. Also, of course, it's clickable, so clicks unlock and lock the screen. 3 buttons for playback control. They are not even labeled, but it's easy to understand which one is which. And high-res sticker, but to be honest, I think it's useless here. In general, in my opinion, design is great, so one of the best looking modern players, and actually ibasso found their own design language and creating unique devices. Front panel occupied with screen, it's not edge to edge, but bezels are really thin, except of bottom one, but really okay. So let's set maximum brightness. It's a sharp LED panel. It's not only sharp in terms of resolution, because it's 1080p, but it's also made by Sharp. Nice viewing angles, a good amount of brightness, so really good screen. Actually, ibasso spent nice amount of money on the screens in their players. Really responsive, really snappy, and really good in terms of controls. In terms of firmware, there is no surprises. It's Android 13 with sample rate converter bypass and so on. Basically, it has everything you can expect. It has Play Store, and some settings are here. Audio related ones is output, phone out and line out. You can select one of two gain levels. You can enable SPDIF. Also, you can select digital filters, including non-oversampling. Also, you can enable and disable ibasso signature technology FIR. It's not actually FIR stands for finite impulse rate or something like that, so it's something about digital filtering. But in short, here we have 4 digital to analog converters. I'm oversimplifying a bit, and they're using FPGA to process the digital signal. And when this FIR in 2x mode, they're utilizing 2 digital to analog converter chips per each channel, and they surpassing physical characteristics of this digital to analog converter chips in terms of signal to noise ratio. So in measurements, it's the best signal to noise ratio in all players except of ibasso 260. So they use FPGA and double digital to analog converters to get even better level of total harmonic distortions and noise. And basically it's a classical trade-off between better battery lifetime and better sound quality. I did some blind tests, and I can't say that this difference with this mode is drastic. For some tracks I can hear it as better treble and a bit more spacious stage. For other tracks I didn't hear the difference, but of course if you get this player, just try and test yourself. But of course all tests I did in maximum quality mode. And main part is of course Mango player. It also looks pretty familiar. A bit of graphical redesign done here. So album cover, navigation, media library, tracks, back, forward, and play order. Here is media library, and first I was unable to find how to select parts of media library, but actually swiping from this edge, actually you need to do a proper swipe. No, not this one, so this part looks a bit not well thought for me, but I think it's a matter of usage. Search all music, albums, artists, genres, playlists now playing, recently played, and internal storage and SD card. So everything that we used to expect and to have in the players is here. Also you can select different options. As you can see, actually scrolling is super fast. Firmware is really fast, so no complaints here. And here we've got settings, so you can also select here digital filter, scan for media. Let's start from the beginning. Gapeless playback. then gain, play mode, equalizer, and actually you can select between parametric equalizer and graphic equalizer. So either you slide or you slide in a more complex way. So here you can select different filters, activate them, then select filter type. Actually, you can see a lot of filter types and so on. So if you like tweaking the sound, you can spend countless hours playing with equalizer here. Left-right balance, digital filter, scan for media, pause when headphones unplugged, USB digital to analog converter mode, Bluetooth receiver mode, some display settings like how you'd like to see your artwork and so on, sleep timer and system info. And part of the settings you can also change here in the audio part. So where it is, audio here, also familiar settings, and also audio control buttons. You can select what you'd like, which button should be forward and which one should be backward. In general, as you can see, like simple, straightforward, feature-rich firmware, pretty stable and nice working. And of course about the sound. You know, I don't know, is it probably it's for good, but maybe someone can disagree. But modern players are leaning more and more towards balanced, natural, uncolored sound, and actually the difference became less and less noticeable. Maybe it's for good, maybe it's for worse. I'm not sure actually. Like if we take some players of like 5-7 years ago, some players were warm, others were bright, with like emphasis on bigger stage or not. But now we're getting neutral, balanced players with good technical sound, with great stage, and actually ibasso DX180 is not an exception. It's really technical, detailed, uncolored, maybe just a bit of coloration. Here is a slight hint on the slight accent on the impact on the low frequencies and slightly more than usual focused micro contrast on the mid frequencies. But not more than that, and you're getting technical natural sound. So basically if you need some coloration, you just select earphones or headphones that will correspond your tastes. So that's it, but of course everyone wants step-by-step description and some examples, so let's do that. Bass is fast, resolving, with great textures, with good amount of small nuances, and the micro contrast, there is a slight hint of additional impact, so it's a bit more punchy than natural, but actually it's more like, you know, a hint of sauce, not like main accent or something like that. So bass is well controlled, ibasso are great in making amplifiers, so no surprises here. And if we won't compare it with some more high-end models, it's just like almost perfect low frequencies, suitable both for electronic music, for some instrumental music or something like that. So first example, it's Casey Abrams, Cougartown, and double bass here sounds really juicy and pleasant. It's emphasized in the record, and this player delivers that emphasis. And Dance Macabre by The Ghost, and it's almost kind of disco track, something in between of disco and maybe not even metal, hard rock, because they are pretty far from metal. But anyway, great track, great tune, and this signature big drum requires nice bass performance and control, so this player also delivers that. You know, it's really pleasant to hold to hold it in hand, so really great impressions. Anyway, mid frequencies natural with a slight hint of accent on the micro contrast, making all instruments a bit more clean, adding a bit of additional clarity to the sound. But also it's like not overdone, it's not natural or monitoring player, it's not as sharp as analytical as like ibasso DX200, for example. They're older players. No, here we're getting nice musical representation, emotions that are present in the record will be delivered, great weight distribution and other stuff like that. So not super critical for the quality of records, but as usual, better material will give you a better result. Stage is really well built, not huge, but sufficient in terms of size, with proper positioning and nice depth layering, with good 3D effect. Not as great as in $1,000+ segment, but for middle segment, really nicely built, really engaging and with good sense of realism. And let's move to examples here. First one is The Lion King, Hans Zimmer, live in Prague. Good live record, nice instrumental part, and that chorus and orchestra, everything is engaging and catchy, emotional, and this player delivers it nicely, and thanks to the properly built stage you're getting that sense of live performance. And I've selected really perfectly recorded track. It's Hoff Ensemble, Polarity. Just, you know, calm, peaceful jazz music, but superbly recorded. Every instrument, every part is on their own place and sounds really great. And this player also delivers it nicely. Actually, you know that the type of record that is created for the high-end players. So on such tracks you can hear the difference between this player and, I don't know, ibasso DX260, for example, their high-end solution. But in general, this one delivered really well for this price tier. Treble is also balanced, no extra emphasis, not sharp, not fatiguing, but at the same time not softened. When sibilance is present in the record, this player will play it. So my traditional test with Iron Maiden 7th Son of a 7th Son passed here. You're getting that sharp S. And treble has great extension, layering is normal but not superb, but overtone representation is nice. Good sense of airness, nice rich overtones, giving you timbre-rich instruments. So, like, balanced treble, not for those who want absolutely softened, not for those who want something super highlighted in terms of treble. First example, it's Kjell Öhman Hammond collection, Misty. And classical jazz track, really well performed, well recorded, really enjoyable, really engaging, and you hear all that overtones of different instruments, and that gives you a good sense of room where it was recorded. And another great jazz track, Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington in a mellow tone. Also nice instrumental part, really well recorded, and all that overtones are really well balanced and delivered in a good manner, giving you good sense of realism. Speaking about the pairings, player is pretty universal. Despite of small size, it has a good amount of power to deliver, so even with super sensitive earphones you're getting a good black background without much noise, actually without noise almost at all, so good black background here. And with pretty power hungry models it also plays really nicely. Of course, battery lifetime will reduce, but anyway, you'll be able to drive virtually everything you'd like. Of course, except of really power-hungry planars or stuff like that. They anyway require some desktop solutions. Speaking about the comparisons, in this price range, what we've got? We've got Shanling M3 Ultra, a bit probably outdated, actually not outdated, one of the oldest players in this price segment, but it still holds pretty well. It's warmer and it's more focusing on the impact and giving you a bit more musical signature, while this one is closer to neutrality. On the opposite end of sounding stands Hibi R6 III. It's more focused on the micro contrast, more natural and more sharp in terms of sound. If you'd like more monitoring representation, it can be an offer to consider. ibasso DX160, actually they have similar signature, but 180 overperforms 160 noticeably by a big amount. Maybe not huge, but noticeably. Better staging, better control, and better actually, you know, every single aspect. So if you have 160 and thinking about the upgrade, 180 will be like a great option for you. And the Fuse M11S, it's also, you know, they have some similarity in signature, meaning like both being natural. But this one is a bit highlighting on the mids. It's highlighting micro contrast, while Fio highlighting a bit more dynamics and emotions on the mid frequencies. But in general, you know, all these players that I've mentioned right now, they all are really good, and actually you can't be wrong with any of them. So we're living in an interesting times where players are really great. And the DX180 is among the greatest players of its segment. So thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a great day.